Beating triple on my mind, on my mind. Beating triple on my mind.
Hello everyone, welcome to the reading. This reading will be about Robert Pattinson and his long-term girlfriend. I'm going to be checking out their energies and seeing like what's up, what's going on, if they love each other. How I'm going to start this is by checking just his energy, like what's around him, what can we see, stuff like that. So, let's see. Okay, win or lose. Oh, things are up for question with this hangman. All right. Okay, there's an ending. That's in someone's heart. And what's the last card going to be? Let's see. All right. Okay. This Queen of Cups, that's going through things. Okay, so before I look into this deeply, let me see what's going on with this win or lose. What is this win or lose about before I even explain the energies and all that? What can we see about this win or lose? Okay, so someone's not patient. Someone's not being patient with this temperance. It's kind of just like someone wanted structure, someone wanted support, but all they were getting was this Five of Swords, blockages. Not just that, the need to sort of just slow things down, but not wanting to have to slow things down. Let me just see, who is this person? I have my suspicions, but let's see, who is this person? Because there's definitely major blockages that's happening. Who is this person? What can we see? Who is this person? All right. Okay, it's the woman. I know it was the woman the whole time, but sometimes when the celebrities, it's kind of just like a big person, I'd rather just have the cards show you instead of me just telling you intuitively. Because I already know that this woman that's in this relationship, she doesn't like how things are stuck. She wanted to win, but it's kind of just the temperance popped up with having to slow things down. And I think this card came out sideways too, I forget, but whatever, it's irrelevant. It's kind of just having to slow down. And she's just not happy. She feels stuck in this relationship, especially with the hangman. She feels like this relationship doesn't have any structure. She feels like she doesn't have any support. And in her heart, she wants death from it. She wants it to end, you know? This is a supporter of compassion and intuitive feelings. Intuitively, she knows that things are off. She knows that just things are up in the air. You know what I mean? This is giving me a vibe of a woman that wants more. You know, what woman doesn't want to be married? You know, a woman doesn't want to be married to a bum. You know, if she has it her way. You know, this guy, this Robert guy, he's an established man. He's not a bum. You know what I mean? He has a lot of things going for him. And it seems I don't know, he doesn't really appreciate her, you know? So it's kind of just it's an unfortunate situation. She doesn't like being stuck. She feels like she doesn't know what's going to happen as far as just with her life. She's where are things headed, you know? That's why I was getting intuitively, but I just wanted the cards again to show you. And it's just, it's a sad energy. It's definitely a sad energy. Let me see, does she love this guy, or was she with him for just his money and his resources? Okay, let's see. The Star, in reverse. You know, she's a bit of an opportunist. We got to be real. You know, when I do these readings, it's not about trying to make someone appear a particular way. It's just whatever I see, right? I know sometimes people don't like it. They get in their feelings. But what I'm seeing here with this Star in reverse is negative intentions. You know, the Star is all about wanting to be seen, wanting to be heard, you know. It's in reverse. It represents someone wanting shady attention. This woman She got into this relationship hoping that it would elevate her. I don't know anything of this couple, let me just say. This is just random. I believe I seen him on E-News. Because sometimes I don't watch the E-News thing. Sometimes I just like browse the names just to see like who I should do a reading on. I'm just going to keep it real. So I try to look for like a relevant person. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know anything of these people. So that's what makes it, I guess, even better. Like, you know. But what I'm seeing here is that someone that wanted stardom and it didn't happen. Now it's kind of just like she's stuck. You know, I asked like basically, does she love this guy? Does she care about him? Like, and no, she just wanted the stardom. Does this Robert guy like care about her or love her? What can we see? He does want some sort of family with her. I don't know if they have kids. I'm not aware of that. But what I'm seeing here is that he does want he wanted some sort of like family with her with this 10 of Pentacles. But the 2 of Swords, not being able to make a decision. You know, he's like one of those guys. He gets with a girl and can't really decide. Like, I mean, I guess it's good for him because her intentions wasn't the best anyway. But again, he's still just one of those guys where it's just like he can't make up his mind. He doesn't know which way to turn. So, I mean, that's a big deal. And there's a lot of conflict in their vibes. From fighting, negativity, a lot of just like negative judgment. Kind of just like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And it's on both of their like sides. It's kind of just like she picks fights with him. Because the 5 of Swords is like arguments, fighting, discomfort. And he picks fights with her. So, I mean, it's a tough situation. Yeah, in his heart, he doesn't even, like, really want to be in this relationship. So, it's like, I don't even know why he does it. What I'm seeing, though, is that he does have passion for her. And the intimacy is there, at least from his perspective. But the Virgo, he's in his head a lot. You know, like, ignore all of this. The creative, the humble, the hardworking, the shy, the uptight, the critical. I don't even know why they do stuff like that. Like, we don't really need that as a reader. Because, you know, sometimes if it's relevant to the reading, I would bring it up. But a lot of times it's not relevant. It's just whatever I'm feeling. So normally I would just like block this out with a marker, but I'm not going to do that because it's going to make the cards ugly. So I'm just going to leave it alone. Like I did with some of my decks, but sometimes some of them you can't do that because like, especially when like the words are so prominent and shit, you know, it's not kind of just like a little small little pieces of shit. What I'm seeing here with this Virgo is that this guy is always in his head. He thinks a lot. That actually is one of the reasons why he can't make a decision. So, I mean, fascinating. Does he know that this woman is an opportunist? Is this like part of the reasons why? What can we see? What can we see? Also, let me just say thank you to everyone that's been having readings with me and that's been supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you. I mean, sometimes he thinks the worst, and sometimes he thinks like the best. The 2 of Pentacles, the 2 of Coins represents juggling things. Kind of just like 1 minute, like you think this, and then the next minute you think that. So I was like, does he think like basically, or does he know like if she's an opportunist? He's not sure. He's kind of just like, I think she is, but, you know, I'm not for sure. So, I mean, why does he stay in this relationship? What can we see? Why does he stay in this relationship? Refusal, solitude. He doesn't want to deal with solitude. I don't know why I seen refusal, and it's restful solitude. So what that tells me is that he refused, and I swear to God, I actually seen refusal. So, and like when I actually read it, it's like restful. I noticed that sometimes with these type of decks, I'd be seeing things like with the words and stuff, and I guess that's just an intuitive thing, like to give like deeper perspective, you know, because the 4 of Swords represent not being content. We obviously know that. But what I'm seeing is he refused to be, he refused sort of just like solitude. He doesn't like to be single. And it's funny because when I look at him, he looks like an introvert, right? So it's kind of just like maybe he found someone that can deal with him. But at the same time, both parties again are not content with this situation with the Four of Swords. So it's like he doesn't even know why he stays. Do any of you guys notice things like that, like in your lives with people? Because I know a lot of people that's in situations like this. From I'm not even talking about clients. I'm talking about like real life, like people I know. You know what I mean, in person. From like guys that are with women. They might have like 4 kids. They might have been together for like, I don't know, 8, 15 years. But they, the guy doesn't want to propose. And the woman asks like, oh, when are you going to marry me? Meanwhile, he doesn't, like, he's like in this energy of like, oh, I don't know. Not just that. It's just weird. Like, it tends to be cheating. Like this particular couple I'm mentioning, like the guy cheats when he's at work. Then it's kind of just like when he's at work, the woman cheats. And I don't know, it's like a dysfunctional situation. I don't know why people do this. It's never been something I had to deal with personally. But I've seen it a lot from women, from men, both sides. So it's just one of those things where people just refuse to be in solitude and they're just not content. But let me ask, does he cheat? Does he like do things with other women? Maybe men, who knows? But let's see. It's 2026 now. What can we see about this Queen of Cups? What can we see? All right. Yeah, it's 2026 now, so it's kind of just like there's a lot of people that are bisexual, doing things with men and whatnot, and so that's why I say what I say. Okay, so both of these people, they're not necessarily legit. Let me just say that, intuitively, what I'm seeing here is that a woman that's not a saint, but a woman that doesn't want to mess up because she knows that like all eyes is on her. Yes, all eyes is on this King of Cups, but, when does that stop a man really from doing whatever he wants to do, Because the King of Cups is in reverse. Actually, this is the King of Pentacles, a businessman. This energy, it's just a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of shit going on. The King of Coins, I was getting the King of Cups in reverse. And sometimes, like, when this happens in readings, it's a message in it. Like, the Taylor Swift reading I did, when I kept seeing, like, literally, I kept seeing the King of Cups. And the card wasn't even in reverse. It was upright, if I'm correct. And I kept saying, it was the Knight of Swords. And I kept saying the King of Swords, because I literally kept seeing the King of Swords. Like, I even like picked up the card and it was saying like King of Swords to me. So I know maybe like when you people are watching it, it's kind of just like, why does he keep making these blunders and stuff? But it's a intuitive message with it. Like, it's a meaning behind it. Because I was going to say the King of Cups is a cheater when the King of Cups is like in reverse. It represents someone that's a manipulator, right? But what I'm seeing here is a ruthless businessman that doesn't have any like scruples or anything. Like someone that's ruthless. You know what I mean? He's about his business. Not just that, this Chariot, this stagnation, So what I'm seeing here, I'm going to be real. Both of these people aren't innocent. Usually when this happens, even if you're not like physically cheating on a woman's end, she needs her emotions fulfilled elsewhere. And that's just what I'm seeing, from friends, from men, from wherever she can get sort of just like the depth that she's desiring, right? Because the Queen of Cups is all about love and desiring love. So she gets it where she can find it. So I'm seeing like more an emotional cheating from like her end of things. From this guy, it's just telling me that he's shady. Is there anything else we can see with this shady man? What else? And I'm just going to take my time with this reading. I'm not going to rush it. What can we see about this dude? Is there anything else we can see? I mean, for this guy, he's all about his success. He's about his money. He's about his success. What I'm seeing, I'm sorry that it's not showing through the cards for you guys, but what I'm seeing is someone that does entertain other people behind the scenes. Not often, but he has. But he doesn't want to be caught. He doesn't want people to like know. This guy is very diligent. So this is the sort of guy that would sort of just like pay to like, I don't know, how would you say it? Like get his rocks off, you know? I know that he's British, and I don't know if he lives there, but I know that in Britain is legal, like being a prostitute, escorting, which is fascinating, right? Because you would think that something like that wouldn't be legal there, but if I'm right, I think it's legal there. Like they have a culture of it, especially like in like higher societies or society, like upper society, like with people that have money and stuff. They usually join sort of like, I don't even know what you would call it because I'm not involved in anything like that, but usually they would join because I heard of this before. Usually they would join sort of like a club, not like a club, because I know a lot of my viewers are American, not like a club like where you party, but like a club where it's almost like a fraternity or something, right? But it's different. It's for like grown-ups and shit. Like mature people, whatever, however you want to say it. And it's kind of just like they have like their annual payments, but it provides certain things that they can enjoy, like having escorts and whatnot, and it's all like quiet and hush hush. So what I'm seeing here is that a guy that cares about his image, he cares about his success. Again, he's a very ruthless businessman, and he's very impatient. So I guess the cards is actually showing it now for you guys, because it's funny. Let me just say what I'm seeing, because it's kind of just like a guy that's just like a ruthless businessman and a guy that's impatient. He really doesn't have time to be entertaining like love situations where he's caught with like people, you know. Like I'm not saying it hasn't happened, because again, I don't know anything of this guy. I didn't like Google anything about him. So it's kind of just like, you know, maybe there's pictures of him with other women. But what I'm seeing here is a guy that doesn't like that, right? That's what I'm seeing here. Like he doesn't have time for that, you know, and his success is a big deal for him. So he doesn't want to mess that up. What else can we see about this woman? Her situation. Yeah, I mean, I know that the Fool represent like, you know, new opportunities, a fresh start, all of that. This time I'm not getting that. I'm getting like what you just see here. Basically, it's calling her a fool and that she needs to go. You know, I don't know. It's a tough situation, because it's kind of true, unfortunately. You know, it's kind of just like if a man doesn't appreciate you, if he doesn't, you know, really want you around, and he's basically settling but not giving you what you want, and then, you know, like you have to leave. You know, what's the point of staying? It's sad, because it's just like no one's happy. Like you're staying because I guess you want a ring and you want to be known as like his wife, but you know, he doesn't want to give her that, at least not anytime soon. So it's kind of just like, why stay? And then let's just say, because usually when guys are like this, they usually don't really marry, right? Like when I see this happen in real life, like the guy just never ends up marrying the chick. Like even if she's just like, I'm gonna take the kids or I'm gonna leave, and he's just like, okay, go. And she ends up going back. I've seen a lot of that happen. So it's kind of pathetic at the end of the day. That's why the energy is just saying like, you know, you're full, just go. He's not trying to commit to you. And then it's kind of just like, okay, let's just say if he does commit to you, like it's going to have all these stipulations. Not just that, it's already like a bad blood to start. Like, you know, like marriage is supposed to be about love and stuff. This isn't a dynastic marriage, at least not, you know, like, you know, I don't think it is. Like this isn't this isn't a dynastic relationship, you know, where like love doesn't matter. My apology for the noise outside. But yeah, this isn't a dynastic sort of like relationship, you know, where it's about like progressing the family, and it's just like fuck your emotions and shit. Like, you know, we're doing it for like like blood reasons and money reasons and whatever. Like, this is just a woman that wants to stay because like this stardom. Also, my apology for like, I know that sometimes the cards don't always be visible, so yeah, you know, and sometimes I'd be focused on like doing the reading that I don't always like like you know, like when I pick it up, like I see it is visible to me, and then like once I'm like looking and doing other stuff, I don't really pay attention. And then when I rewatch the reading, sometimes the cards be all on that side, and it's just like, oh, that's not good. So I mean, what can I see? What's going to be coming up for these people? Because this is a sad situation, right, guys? What's going to be coming up for these people? All right, first card face down. Let's see what's going to be coming up for these people. Yeah, this is stagnant. Like, he doesn't want to leave her. He just wants to like have things be how they are. Yeah, this is a toxic situation, full of anger, full of just a toxic situation, right? And the reason why I was saying that he doesn't even want to leave, because in like the heart position, this is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands represent like planning to travel, planning to do things, right? That's in reverse. So it's kind of just like he doesn't even want to do anything. He just wants things to be stagnant. And I swear to God, I'm not just saying this. You know this Robert Pattinson guy? I thought it was Patterson, but when I seen the spelling of his name, it's Pattinson, not Patterson. I don't know if you just say it, if it's pronounced Patterson and it's just spelled Pattinson. I don't know, but yeah, saying that, that's why I say it funny, like whatever. But this guy, I swear to God, I know a man that he's with this woman, and they've been together now for like, I don't know, forever, for years, a decade plus, and he has kids with her, and he looks just like this Robert guy. I swear to God, they have the same face structure, eyes, and everything, right? And it's the same exact situation like these people are going through. Like he has that with his chick, and it's weird. But I don't know if these people have kids, but yeah, the only thing is that guy has kids. What can I see with this face down card? Okay, the Knight of Cups in reverse. He doesn't really want to propose anything to her. That's what I'm seeing. It's kind of just like he's happy with it being how it is, you know? The Knight of Cups usually propose like romance and love. It isn't always a serious offer. That's why I didn't rush to say like, oh, he's not proposing marriage or anything, because usually the Knight of Cups doesn't really signify marriage. It could, like someone making, it's a love offer, but it's not always a big love offer. It's kind of just like, it's a decent love offer, right? Like if you're starting off, it's like, oh, okay, the guy is like trying to propose some sort of romance with you, right? This is in reverse. I love this deck, by the way. This deck is really beautiful. Like I don't know if you guys can see it, but let me see. Like, it looks kind of brown when I'm looking at like the phone screen, but it looks almost like I don't know, like a blackish, purplish sort of gray or something. Like, I don't know, it's a real good deck, man. The energy is telling me just focus on a reading, and I'll talk about this deck after I get this point across. Bear with me, guys, right? But what I'm seeing here is that he doesn't even want to offer her anything, right? Not just that, I know this is the lovers, but this guy, he doesn't look content with the happiness, or the love, I should say, excuse me. He's kind of just like, you know, he's against this tree. He's just not happy. Not just that, I already explained this, that he doesn't want to plan to do anything with her. And what I'm seeing here is a couple that's just sort of just like stuck in some sort of negative cycle. You know, the devil represents restrictions, pain, sorrow, right? And this is a beautiful card. Like, look at the greenery and stuff. I was gonna say greenery, but that makes you think of like plants and trees, right? I was gonna say, look at the green though. Like, that's insane. This deck is so good. You know what's funny? I pretty much said what I was gonna say. I'm gonna get to the Mars, but let me just say, this deck, I have to say it. This deck, when this deck came out, I seen pictures of it, right? But I wasn't sure if I was going to get it because I didn't have a whole ton of decks at that point. So like, and I knew that the deck was expensive. And then when I was going to get it, I don't know, because I guess stuff was happening in Ukraine, that the prices from the deck, it went from $90 to $200. And then when I was going to make a purchase, it went to $400. And then I was just like, I don't know if I want to like spend that type of money. It even went to $600 on certain sites. I know that seems kind of crazy, right, guys? And I was thinking like, damn, when it was like 400, I was like, should I do it? I know I'm really mentally sick, right? Because it's just like, dude, really? But let me just tell you, I got lucky because like the war or whatever is happening in Ukraine, and this deck is made in Ukraine. And so, like, the prices were just crazy, and then you couldn't find it anywhere. It was just on eBay. And, you know, eBay is kind of like, I don't think I've ever got a deck from eBay because, like, eBay is shady, right? So I'm just like, oh, damn. And so I thought, like, I missed my opportunity because I was just like, I don't want to spend $400 for a deck. I was just like, that's kind of really sick. And then just one day, it was on sale on Etsy for like $80, $90. And I was so happy and so fortunate. I was just like, damn, the prices went back to like normal. And like, I ended up getting it. And the thing with the guy that was selling it, and it's the real copy, by the way. It ain't like, a lot of the stuff now is like, yeah, faded and shit. But this is like the real copy, is the legit one. This isn't like a fake one or anything. But the guy that was selling it, you know, I guess he was having problems, you know, because, like, especially during that time, they were being bombed pretty heavy. So I don't know, like, what was happening with his stock or his inventory. But the interesting thing is that, like, a lot of people didn't get their deck that they ordered. Not just that, some of them had, like, damages, some real jacked up damages. And so people were complaining so much on Etsy that, like, they end up, I guess, shutting down his shop. But the funny thing is that like 4 or 6 days before they shut down his shop, I got my deck. It took a minute. It took a long time, but I was so happy. I was like, thank you, right? This is like one of the decks I really wanted that I got. And yeah, and then the guy shop got closed. I don't know if it ever opened up because I didn't need any other decks from him because I just needed just this deck, you know, because a lot of the decks that he was selling, I had some of them. And then some of them, I don't know if it was like in Ukrainian, but yeah, it was something weird going on with them. But I didn't need those other decks. But yeah, the story about me getting this deck was really beautiful because like, it was like a big deal for me because for me, I love like medieval stuff. I'm like a history nerd person. Like I can watch like 4-hour YouTube videos with people discussing like the most boring things about history. Not even kind of like the salacious dumb stuff people always love to hear about. Like I can hear like long videos about things about like zoning during like the medieval times and like how the economy worked. And just like the nature of their economy and like just everything about it, right? Like their structures, and it's just like fascinating. Like, and it's not just like a European history thing. Like I love like all history, right? Yeah, I'm just like a history person. But so getting this deck was like a big deal to me. You see, that's like my ADHD and shit. I had to do like my show and tell. I haven't really done that in a long time, really. Like, cause I've been doing a lot of readings lately, but I haven't really like, yeah, had it that bad in a while. So guys, bear with me. This Mars energy, look how cool this deck is, right? With the zodiac energies, with the planets and stuff. Mars represents conflict. So what I'm seeing here is there's conflict, and this is crowning the energy. You know, so I mean, if I was to ask, I guess I'll ask, does the universe, the divine, whatever you want to call it, do they have any advice for this couple? What would the advice be for this couple? What can you see? I mean, this isn't a good partnership. Let me just tell you, it's not a good partnership. And there's a lot of mistreatment that goes around. You see, I wasn't even going to mention that. Like the other side of like that guy that I said looked like that Robert Pattinson guy, because he's an abusive guy from what I've heard. That like, you know, every now and again, like, because they're always fighting because both of them are unhappy, you know, he kind of roughs up his girlfriend. Like, she doesn't want to like say really what happened, or what happens, I should say. But, you know, people talk and we think that she might be getting assaulted, maybe like beat every now and then, or slapped around, which doesn't make it right. You know, we don't think like she's getting like a real beat down, but we definitely think that because he like grabbed her wrist before and she had like marks on her wrist and like was janking her and like threw her out the house. And so it's kind of just like, this is a bad thing. So like, you know, like people talk. So it's kind of just like, you know, we don't know if he's doing more, but I was getting that with the energies, but I try to be reserved. You know what I mean? I'm not just here just to like be all extra and exaggerate things. I take what I do very serious. So now that like I'm seeing what's happening here is, and the reason why I decided to bring it up is because the Six of Pentacles represents give and take, right? And it was saying, treat her fairly. That's what it kept coming up in my mind. It was like, treat her fairly, that the guy isn't treating her fairly. It's kind of just like, understand that you're a man. So like how you deal with her, it needs to be fair, because there is a energy of aggression here. It's not good aggression, it's bad aggression, where it's just like, you know, like I think intuitively, I'm gonna be real with that guy, that like, you know, where people talk about like, what does he do? Intuitively, I don't think like he's really beating her up. I just think like he just gets rough with her. Like, it's not okay, but, you know, it's still less than like, you know, actually like really beating someone up where they're bloody and black and blue. But I think like my intuition, it just tells me that that guy, just like, you know, when they fight, like if he wants to throw her out the house, then he's like pulling her and gripping her hard, and he's not being delicate, and it's a woman, you get it? So it's not okay, but it's different than someone like pimp slapping you and shit. So this is what I'm getting here. It's kind of just like, dude, you know, treat her right with this give and take. You know, don't be so abusive. Don't be so hard with her. The energy is saying that this Three of Pentacles, that it's not even a good partnership. It's a bad partnership. Not just that, they're concealing a lot of shame, a lot of problems, and they're concealing it. And if they don't watch out, that's going to be exposed. So, I mean, that's not a good look for both people. You know, not every woman feels comfortable saying that they've been a victim. They don't like that sort of stigma, and they think about like, how would that affect them in their next relationship, or how would their kids feel, you know? So not all women want to put that out there. Some women want to keep that to themselves, and he also want to keep things to himself, because obviously why would he want people to know that their situation is dysfunctional? So the energy is just saying like, you know, if you guys don't work this out, things might be exposed, and it might happen fast, because the spiritual realm is watching, spiritual ethers. But yeah, the energies is just saying, treat each other how you want to be treated. Not just that. You see the imagery here? If you need to let someone go, just let that person go. So, I mean, guys, tell me what you thought of this reading. I know I'm a little bit mellow right now, but I think actually this energy is perfect for such a serious reading, you know, such a serious discussion, whatever you want to call it, because this is definitely serious. But yeah, enjoy, guys. Take care.